What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Jay Rich here to talk some NBA prop plays over on PrizePicks for Wednesday, February 15th. It will be the last video before the NBA All-Star break. There is some games tomorrow, but I expect guys to rest. It's only a 3-game slate. Not going to bother making a video about it. If you do want some plays, follow me on Twitter. I may drop a couple plays over there. But let's dive into this massive slate. I got a lot of plays because why not? Let's have some fun before the All-Star break. Let's dive into it right now. For all the high-flying action, take a step back and relax. It's time to count that money. The NBA props, no look any further. You know what time it is. Presented by PrizePicks, NBA props. Let's
count that money, man.
All right, so as you can see, number one play of the day is Desmond Bane over his points, rebounds, and assists at 30.5. There is some slight juice to the over on DraftKings, but you see the matchup is phenomenal against Utah. Utah is just, they're so bad right now. And I believe Desmond Bane can do it. You see he's been very consistent, averaging right around 30. With the added matchup data that I have, I do think he will be somewhere around 35. That gives him right around to an average of about 32.7 with a standard deviation of 2. Telling us he's been very consistent. You know, he's hitting right around that 30 number very, very often, and he's not deviating too far from that with this better matchup. Hopefully some increased usage potentially. He could easily go past this number. This is very attainable for a guy like Bane. The par was the number one number for me, but a lot of numbers look good for Desmond Bane in this matchup. Same with Jaren Jackson Jr. Same thing. Par, or whether you want to go after the fantasy score is very high at 38.5. But the par is still a pretty good number as well. As you can see, the projections have him for right around 26.8. But again, also very consistent with how he's been playing, which we usually cannot say about Jaren Jackson Jr. So that is good to see. But you see the fantasy score number over there at 38.5 it's pretty high. But the thing with Jaren Jackson is that you want to take him at home. He plays much better at home when it comes to getting blocks and steals. He averages like 4 blocks a game at home versus on the road. He doesn't get as many. People think that the scorekeeper in Memphis is juicing the blocks. I'm not going to make that claim. I'm just telling you what's been said and what's been found on Reddit. But the fact still remains that Jaren Jackson does put up more fantasy points at home. So if you did want to take the fantasy score number, I do not hate it. But Bane and Jackson are two of the highest edges on the slate for me today. Both their points, rebounds, assist numbers look good. Obviously, the matchups are good against Utah, but you're going to need to pair that with some other plays, and that's why I have some more stuff on here. Donovan Mitchell's blocks and steals are minus 135 on DK. Again, it will be a slow-paced game against Philly, but you know he's been averaging right around 1.5, and with the matchup, he should be around 1.9 based off his season data. So I have him basically right at 2. So he should probably get there if everything goes right for him. So I don't mind it at all. I think it's a pretty good spot for Mitchell. I think he can go over. It just depends on how he plays in that game. It'll be a slow-paced game. Cleveland, Philly, yikes. You want to talk about not a lot of possessions. 98.875 is what I have it projected as. Could be a little bit more, could be a little bit less. Point is, these teams play slow. Not a ton of possessions, not a ton of fast breaks, but I think that Mitchell can use his defensive ability to get some steals, and if heaven forbid he gets a block, he's probably going to go over. You look at Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, he's up against Houston today. Houston is 24th in the league at allowing assists to opposing point guards. We've seen Shai do this plenty of times against Houston. The fear is the blowout, but it is minus 130 on DraftKings at 5.5. This is a number that could move potentially. Again, you've been averaging 6, projected for right around 6. Should hit 6. And I'm not saying he's going to get 8 or 9 or 10, but he should hit 6, and 5.5 is a pretty good number to take on PrizePicks. We already went through Jaren Jackson Jr.'s fantasy score. And then so let's talk about a couple of underplays. Max Strus under his turnovers at 1.5 looks good. It's minus 130 on DraftKings. The matchup is fine. He's been, averaging right around 1 turnover a game. What does he do? He runs around, he shoots threes. He doesn't do a lot of passing. As long as he doesn't do anything stupid, he's probably not going to turn the ball over more than once. And as you can see, he's been averaging around 30 minutes, turning the ball over about 1 time a game. He should be fine to do that again today. Again, it seems low, but the sports books are already telling us that he's probably going to go under in most cases. So it is an advantageous play for us on PrizePicks. Darius Garland under his points and rebounds. They actually bumped down his points, rebounds, and assists. Or no, it was his points and assists they bumped down lower from the book line. This number is minus 125. As you can see, it's the second toughest matchup. For whatever reason, Philly guards point guards very, very well. They do not allow a lot of points to point guards. Now, Garland, of course, could get a ton of assists, but do not expect him to score much in this game. And as well, with the rebounds, he doesn't get a ton of rebounds either. So that's why there isn't a ton of juice on this number. But they're still second best, and I believe they're still number 1 at allowing points or stopping point guards from scoring. So you see that's why he's projected for right around 20. He's been averaging around 20.8 points and rebounds, and I've projected for right around 19.3 with the 100 possession data. So right around 20.6. You see the variability in the standard dev there at 5.6, so he could definitely go over, but chances are he's probably going to go under, with the line being all the way up at 23.5 and juice to the under on the books. And the other one is Patrick Williams. This one is a little risky because of the matchup. I will admit that the Indiana Pacers are not good against bigs, so power forward centers against Indiana typically fare very well. As you can see, they're 28th in the league at allowing points, rebounds, and assists to power forwards. But this is juiced to the under. It's 19.5 on DK and on PrizePicks, minus 125. So 52% chance of hitting for us. And I'm projected for right around 14.6. And as you can see, over the past 5, he's been averaging 14.4, and 100 possession data has him for right around 15. So again, he could definitely go over. Not saying that he can't, not saying that he won't. It's just the number is a little bit high, and I think it's because of the matchup against Indiana. But what people need to remember is that he's not a primary ball scorer, he's not a primary handler. He gets his shots, he gets some rebounds. He could get a ton of rebounds in this game. He could get some assists. I'm not expecting a ton from him though, and there's always, I'm not going to say it could happen because Chicago doesn't blow at anybody. But if heaven forbid Zach LaVine gets hot, DeMar gets hot, Vooch gets hot, and they just blow the doors off Indiana, or Indiana just rests everybody for some strange reason, even though they have no business doing so, Patrick Williams may get limited minutes in this one. You see he's averaging right on 27 a game. Maybe there's a chance he gets 23, 24 in an absolute blowout of the Pacers. I'm not going to say it's going to happen because they were up 20 on the Pacers last time they played, or I think it was the last time they played, and they still lost the game, and Tyrese Halliburton wasn't even playing in that one. But this is what I'm looking at today. Desmond Bane, points, rebounds, and assists over. Jaren Jackson Jr., fantasy score or points, rebounds, assists over. Based off the data, the points, rebounds, assists does look better. Donovan Mitchell over his blocks and steals. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander over his assists at 5.5. Max Strus under his turnovers at 1.5. Darius Garland under his points and rebounds at 23.5. And Patrick Williams under his points, rebounds, and assists at 19.5. As always, if you tail, give PrizePicks hell, and if we fail, do not bail. I'll be back after the All-Star break with more NBA picks and bets. Good luck this weekend. If you do bet on the All-Star game, good luck with that as well, and I'll see you guys for the next video. I'm out. Peace.